presenting the liquidation of machinery and equipment previously used for the manufacture of ferrite products, no longer required in the operation of Brimex SA to CV in Mexico City, Mexico.
Mexico. This facility has been a manufacturer of both soft and hard ferrite. Samples of product made in these facilities are being illustrated, including extrusions, parts pressed from slurries, and powder compacted parts. Examples of hard ferrite product. And parts have been made here from powdered iron. At the time that this videotape is being made, the facility is not completely closed. This is product that's awaiting its opportunity to be fired. These are extrusions. These are powder press parts. And yet another example of powder press parts. In the manufacture of the ferrite powder, for further processing, ball mills, such as the equipment now being illustrated, are used and will be sold in this sale. These are steel-lined ball mills, with or without lifter bars, depending upon the model, steel-lined. Dry powders are blended in this Patterson-Kelly V-shaped 3 cubic foot stainless steel blender with an agitator bar. Spray drying the powders is one method of powder preparation for pressing dry powders in the powder compacting presses. This is one of the holding tanks where the powder put into a slipped form using water as an additive is stored. These tanks have motorized agitators at the top, which keep the material stirred while it's in storage and awaiting its requirement in the spray dryer. The tanks are complete, elevated above the ground on scaffolding. This is an illustration of another tank of a different size and capacity. A very modern and late model Nairo atomizer spray dryer is installed in this facility and is a part of this sale. Here you can see the cone bottom where the spray dried powder is collected. The controls for the spray dryer are mounted on the wall next to the dryer. Hot air is collected through this system where there is a burner that heats the air, taking it up through the piping into the top of the spray dryer. Returning to a slip storage tank, you can see that at the bottom there is a connection where piping allows the liquid to be drawn from the tank when needed through this pump, where it is further conveyed up through the line to the bottom of the spray dryer, where on the side you can see the pipe carrying the material into the nozzle where the material is sprayed up into the center of the spray dryer. Walking the scaffolding up to the side of the spray dryer, there you can see the cone bottom. We're up next to the heat source, and where the hot air goes into the spray dryer. And on the side of the spray dryer, there is an access port. Looking up on the inside of the spray dryer, you can see where the hot air comes in. The stainless steel walls. Further down into the bottom fines that are too fine to be used and need to be reprocessed are collected in this stainless steel collector. The blower that you see is blowing the exhaust out, and on this side it's connected to a dust collector outside of the building, and here we're venting directly into the air. This is another view of the collector for the fines. The particles that are usable are collected here in collectors that are not in place at the moment and discharged through the discharge valve that you see in the center of the screen. Outside of the building you can see the dust collector, which is collecting any of the fines that are much too fine to be collected and are airborne. Certain grades of ferrite and many other materials require calcining. This is a rotary calciner manufactured by the U.S. Smelting Company. This is the gas burner system used to generate the heat for the calciner. Put into position, this is where the blast of hot air comes out, going into the calciner, which in the inside is refractory lined. This is one of the manually operated hydraulic presses used to form the powders into the magnet shape. Powders are pressed automatically in different types of presses, this being a Stokes 40-ton model S5. There are other Stokes models. This is the highest tonnage of the automatic Stokes presses. There are 4 of them in this particular line. Stokes 20-ton model R4 presses. The Stokes 4-ton model F. By the way, some presses here that are in need of repair or completion, or could just be used for spare parts. This is another Stokes model R4 press, which is incomplete. Once again, very good for parts or for rebuilding. There's an exceptionally nice Dorst 50-ton model TPA-50 press in this sale, complete with an air clutch, hydraulic equalizer. Very nice machine. So give a close-up view of this press and its modern controls. There is one tool holder with the press. Your cam rack. This is the rear of the press with the powder hopper, back of the tool holder. A very unusual opportunity to find a press of this quality in a sale like this. For firing the product, one of the kilns is a top-of-the-line Harper furnace. You can see the controls, disconnects. This is a continuous furnace. This is the entry end. Another look at the control panel. There's been a lot of updating on this kiln, control-wise. This is the exit end of the furnace. An opposite side view of the exit end. There is also a car bottom kiln using electric low bar heating elements. It's a batch cycling kiln. Speaking of a shuttle kiln and a car bottom kiln, these are 2 cars next to each other for a Lindbergh car bottom kiln. Make no mistake about it, we realize that this is only a shell usable for rebuilding, and this is the kiln body itself. It's cheap enough though, priced very low. Forming larger parts, there's a St. Lawrence hydraulic press. The manufacturer is well known for ferrite presses. This press is complete with coils for orienting the particles. A rear view of this press. That's the tank for feeding the slurry. Extrusion of rod and tubing is accomplished by using this high tonnage Loomis extruder, rated in excess of 200 tons capacity. It is a piston type extrusion. Tilting has a vacuum pump in addition to the complete hydraulic system. Through some of the other equipment, there's a very nice IRIC model R7 high intensity mixer. There are air compressors, compressed air receiving tanks, a Stokes Tornado mill, pulverizer. By looking in the inside of this pulverizer, you can see the condition is excellent and the blades are replaceable. Mixers, in this case the bowl turns, Royal Master centerless grinders, very small item, a laboratory feeder, useful in many applications. Small batch oven, shelves of powder press and extrusion tooling. This is a 1-ton Denison bench press, great little lab tool. Speaking of lab and test equipment, an optical pyrometer, Q meter, impedance analyzer, many other laboratory tools. Fisher sieve sizer, gauzometer. Ask for the complete list. The magnetizing coils with its power supply. These are magnetizing coils. There are two different power supplies. There's one and the other. The switch will switch you from one to the other. Scales and other weighing equipment. Component comparator. Oscilloscope. We hope to see you at Brimex in Mexico City very soon. All items must be sold in a very short period of time. Your further inquiry will be welcome. We'll give you every possible assistance at inspecting the equipment. Please contact us for any further assistance that we can provide. Thank you for viewing this presentation.
For further information about this liquidation, contact the exclusive sales agent, MOHR Corporation, in Detroit, Michigan, with offices also in Mexico City.